Welcome to Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss.
Well, since our last interview, I did the first interview with the rumored boss of the Philly Mafia, Joey Merlino. I assume you watched this interview.
I did not.
You watched part of it.
I saw snippets of it because it comes up in your feed. You can't help it. Yeah.
In the interview, Joey Merlino said that you and your dad were rats.
Franzese, Sammy the Bull, I don't even know, Sicali, whatever. They're all, that fat kid, Ruggiero, whatever the fuck his name, he said they changed their life. That's what they say. Yeah, they changed their life when the fucking handcuffs went on them. Let me ask you a question. If Sammy the Bull and all them, whatever the fuck the names are, Franzese, all these rats never got locked up, where would they be right now? You tell me.
I'm not sure. Probably doing the same thing they were doing.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Stand on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss. All right, guys, you just seen that first clip. What we're going to get into today is Vlad TV interviewed Michael Franzese, and this was the most hardball interview I've ever seen Franzese take. And this is the most hardball interview I've seen Vlad ever give. Like, is there something going on behind the scenes where they really don't like each other? I want to touch on a few of these points. We just seen the clip with Merlino. Okay, that's going to be the same thing. Now, but here's the thing. Vlad always, it seems now in this interview, was just making Michael uncomfortable. I mean, Vlad, what are you doing? You see the guy don't even got socks on. He rushed out of his house. He does not even got socks on. Leave Michael alone. He's in there in some Michael Jackson penny loafers. He just came in to do you a solid. And it seems like he got attacked. So obviously when Vlad knows how to stir up the stuff in MobTube, and he knows the first name to stir it up with is Merlino, because he knows what Merlino says. It calls Franzese a rat. Listen, everybody knows Franzese hates that. Franzese don't even believe that he cooperated, but he did. You know what I mean? So it gets fucked. So Vlad knows that makes him uncomfortable. And like I said, you already see he's not wearing socks. So so Vlad's trying to get under his skin. Well, Franzese, being the guy that he is, he's a hustler, but you see him sitting there with his arms folded. Look at his body language. He's very uncomfortable. Now, he knows how to get around these questions. So, of course, he gets around the Merlino thing, and he says some, I didn't even play that whole thing where he says, oh, you should say it to my face. And, obviously, Sonny Franzese wasn't a rat and stuff. Joey, you know what I mean? So the Joey thing, everybody knows what that's going to do. Next thing you know, it goes down a little bit, and classic Vlad, he starts talking about some people who got unalived. Franzese obviously knows how to duck that. But I'm like thinking there, I'm like, well, Vlad, this is getting nuts. This is getting totally nuts. So it gets crazy. It gets crazy. Now, let's look at the next November surprise he drops on him in this next clip.
We did an interview recently with Chuck Zito. Mm-hmm. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. I did
Former
time
Hell's
with
Angel.
Chuck.
What's that?
I did time with Chuck.
You did time with Chuck?
Yeah.
Right. He referred to you as a rat as well. Chuck is a hardcore guy. Once again, a person from that particular life that has never cooperated and considers anyone with any level of cooperation a rat. It is what it is. And he did say he was locked up with you at one point. What was your relationship with Chuck during that time?
We got along great. First of all, he wasn't part of our life at all.
No, he wasn't a mafia guy. He was a Hell's Angel.
Yeah, he wasn't part of our life at all. We got along great. Yeah, we spent, I'm trying to think back because it was in MDC, New York. I think we were in the same cell together for about 4 months. We were on, I think on the 7th floor, if I'm not mistaken. We got along great. I mean, he was there on some drug beef out of Japan. I think he was, I don't remember the exact thing. But yeah, we got along great. Good friends at that point.
Right. Does it bother you that people you were cool with at one point disparage you later on?
No.
No?
Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me tell you, nobody really knows what went on with me, and it's nobody's business. But you know what? Here I am. I'm 73 years old. I'm alive. I'm very public. I don't have any enemies in that life that I know of. People talk, but, for whatever. Social media does that. But I know it went down at that point and how it went down and why it went down. And I knew this. Nobody was ever going to get in trouble because of anything I ever said. And that was very clear with the people that it had to be clear with. And that was it. So, again, I don't have to get into the details or specifics of what went on at that point.
Did you guys see that? Did you just see what the Chuck Zito clip I just showed? Now, I want you to pay attention to something. Look how Vlad came across and presented that one. Yeah, I talked to Chuck Zito. He said, you guys knew each other. You guys were in jail together. Franzese starting to get comfortable. Yeah, we were actually cell buddies, Yeah, Chuck. Oh, he called you a rat. Oh, back in the corner again. He backed him up. So he actually went. Vlad started with the mob stuff, with the Joey Merlino and everything like that. Franzese is so seasoned on these questions that Vlad just took another turn. Like you heard Franzese, if you listen to the whole thing, I don't know if I put it in, but Franzese, he's like, oh, well, he's not even in our life and stuff like that. And he goes into that big lie about how, people don't know and the major commission said, Franzese, you cooperated, man. Just get on with it. But he was shocked with the Chuck Zito thing, man. He got, what do they call it here on MobTube? Sandbagged. So, that doesn't get him nervous enough. These things aren't giving him nervous enough. He threw the kitchen sink at him. Watch this next clip. Look at what he did when I say throw the kitchen sink. So you went to real Cosa Nostra, the actual Cosa Nostra, the underboss or the boss of Philly, supposed boss of Philly or whatever. You went from that to the back in the day stuff where people got on live, keeping it in the mob territory. And then he digs into Chuck Zito, which is Hell's Angels. And let's watch this next clip.
Another interesting rumor that came up in the notes. Have you heard of a guy named Tony Pizza?
From social media.
Right. So this is a homeless guy that's been running around the mob tube claiming that he was a Gambino enforcer, sat in high-ranking member meetings. But I guess no one could actually verify it because they're all dead and gone except for you. And he claims that he actually got into a physical altercation with you when you guys were younger. But like I said, no one can vouch for this guy on any level.
I heard that. I honestly don't remember him. Now, when I say that, I mean, he's talking about an altercation that we might have had 40 years ago. So, I mean, I had altercations in my life. I don't remember this one in particular, but I'm not going to call the guy a liar. I mean, I think he said something outside of a club that I owned at the time I was involved in. I don't remember exactly what he said. I don't remember it, but I don't want to call the guy a liar. But I don't remember him at all, honestly.
Vlad actually went into the bag and got Tony Pizza. He used Tony Pizza to try to make Franzese uncomfortable. And a lot of people say, well, maybe somebody wrote it and said something about Tony Pizza. But look how Vlad did that narrative. He wasn't just saying, hey, do you know Tony Pizza? He had to bring up the altercation. And what the altercation is supposed to be is Tony Pizza had said, which I don't know if it's true or not true. People say he lies. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I don't, but Tony Pizza had said that Michael Franzese beat him up when Tony Pizza was a little kid, like 12, 13. He vandalized one of Franzese's cars. Franzese smacked him around. So apparently Vlad gets a hold of that information. Now, to your MobTube public, say this incident actually happened. People wouldn't care. They would laugh about it and all. And, Tony Pizza actually doesn't care. He says he deserved it or whatever. But if you really put it out in the public, Vlad did his homework on this and knows the story that it would make it look like Franzese is beating up, is 30 years old beating up on 12-year-olds. You understand what I'm saying? Which, no matter, even if the story is true, it's not like he tried to kill Pizza. You know what I'm saying? He smacked him around a little bit for vandalizing his stuff. But anyway, That's my point. Vlad actually went into a bag of tricks, man. He threw the kitchen sink at Franzese. Also insulted him. He said in one, I'm not even going to put the clip up, but he actually said, if you look at the whole interview, they started talking about Sammy, right? So Franzese, now this could be something to do with his socks, because Franzese like, yeah, I was just on the phone with him an hour ago when I was on my way here, blah, blah, blah. So it sounded like Franzese was rushing around trying to, be there for Vlad, and Vlad just sandbagged him. So anyway, he don't put no socks on. He gets there in his penny loafers, and he's looking zesty. And as soon as things look to calm down, and he's got a moment to breathe, they start talking about Sammy. And Michael, trying to, make himself on Sammy's level. Yeah, well, I just got off the phone with Sammy. That's my friend, we're hallelujah, and good Lord, I'm the one who dunked him in the dunk tank. Whatever. Vlad hits him with this. And then, oh, no, Michael says, yeah, and Sammy made a joke. Yeah, my check was better than yours and Vlad's. So you figured to just let that slide. Vlad says, oh, yes, it was. Well, you got to think, Michael. This is what he tells me. You got to think, Michael. His story is way more interesting than yours. He's more, and Michael's like, yeah. Look, that was very disrespectful, man. That was very disrespectful. You just told that man he's not worth what Sammy the Bull is worth. And look how he showed up to your shit. Zesty. You know what I mean? Now everybody's saying stuff about him. You sandbagged him with Tony Pizza. You sandbagged him with Chuck Zito. The Merlino thing, that was, everybody knows they're going to do that. But when you're coming with Chuck Zito from the Hells Angels and the Prince of Park Avenue, is it what it is? Park Avenue South, Tony Pizza, and you're just throwing everything at this man. What was Vlad TV thinking, man? Is there a problem with him and Franzese? I think there might be. This shit's just funny, guys. And then to tell him he's not worth, oh my God. I don't know. This MobTube is crazy. And even Vlad mentioned MobTube. Okay? Like, what the hell's going on? Everybody running out of content? All right, guys, until next time, just remember, always stand on business.